What can you buy for £4.37? Or for my American viewers at today's exchange rate, $5.83. Well, in the United Kingdom I could buy 7.2 Benson & Hedges cigarettes or 1.7 medium cappuccinos from Costa, if you can remember when we used to be able to do things like that. Or buy a bottle of red wine from Asda. I guess if you did do any of those things, by the end of the day you would have nothing to show for it. So in this video I'm going to show you what you can do for £4.37. I've been asked quite a few times by different people about the costs of my boating, so I thought I'd do an up-to-date video about costs in the hope that this would be useful to people. I think that you can split the costs of boating into three areas. Firstly, there's buying the boat and getting it how you want it and maintaining it, and I think the cost of that, as every boater knows, is how long is a piece of string. So I'm not going to cover that here. I did talk about that in a previous vlog, so I'll leave a link below and you can look at that if you wish. The second area is using the boat, the travel costs such as fuel, and again that's going to depend on how much usage and what you actually need. I need petrol, diesel and gas in the main. And then there are the running costs, the things you have to pay for just having the boat without moving it. So it's about those things that people often ask questions about. So the first one is mooring costs. When I looked into buying the Swamp Duck, before any deal was struck, I needed to know where I was going to keep it and what the costs were involved. Now technically I bought the boat from Shardlow Marina through their brokerage. The owner had asked the marina to sell the boat on her behalf, and the system there was that if you put your boat up for sale, then it was moved onto the sales pontoon for a period of time. So when I went to see the Swamp Duck, it was on the sales mooring. And its regular mooring had been given up. So before I agreed to buy her, it very much depended on whether the marina still had space, and as there was no way that I wanted to be hunting around at that stage for a mooring. Fortunately, they did have space, so I was able to buy her. By the time I moved from Shardlow Marina, the cost was £960.40 per annum, which I was able to pay quarterly, and that is equivalent to £80.70 per month. Having looked around at other marinas, I realised that Shardlow was very reasonably priced. Part of the reason for that is the tendency for marinas to price their moorings per foot. And very often, particularly on the canals, there is a minimum charge for 30 foot. But Shardlow had many more small boats like mine, and therefore some of the pontoons were designed for them and for boats of around 20 foot. So consequently you weren't paying for space that you didn't actually need. So in that respect, Shardlow was ideal. However, many of you know that the problem there was that it was on the river, on the River Trent, and it didn't take many days of rain before it was in flood, and the floodlocks were padlocked shut, so it was very frustrating, particularly as it took much longer for the water levels to go down. So the weather could be beautiful, but you still couldn't take the boat out. So I looked for an alternative on the canal systems. I'd almost secured a mooring in a lovely marina on the Coventry Canal at £130 a month, considerably more than the Shardlow one. But at least I might be able to use the boat more. But then on the 23rd of March, that all changed and lockdown started. Thankfully, before anything else was signed for, and the Swamp Duck had to stay at Shardlow until the 1st of June, and I couldn't stay overnight on her until July. However, in the meantime, I'd been looking for an alternative mooring, and as luck would have it, I found the current one on the Canal and River Trust website. And it costs £60.43 per month, even cheaper than Shardlow. But it's much further from home, so it has increased my travel costs in getting to the boat. So from my experience, mooring costs are between £720 and £1,560 depending. So that works out at between £1.97 and £4.25 per day. So you do need to shop around when you're looking for a mooring and to weigh up the pros and cons of each one. So you've bought the boat and you've got somewhere to moor it. The next thing you have to think about is a licence. And I have very little option on the Ashby Canal as regards as to which particular licence I can have. And it costs me £1.47 per day with the Canal and River Trust. But that depends on the size of your boat. So you have to look on the Canal and River Trust website, and there's a sliding scale there, and it will tell you how much a licence is for the length of your boat. So now you have your licence. The next thing you're going to need is insurance. Now that obviously depends on the type of insurance that you are going to take out. Now I've taken out a fully comprehensive insurance, and it also covers for legal expenses, but some people just go for the third party, and that costs me 36 pence per day. Now the other thing that you're going to need before you can take your boat onto the canals or rivers you need to have a boat safety certificate, and they last for 4 years. Now they are not a standard price. You do need to shop around if you can to find somebody who will do it at a reasonable cost. Now, I didn't have an awful lot of choice this year because we were in a lockdown situation, and it was just a matter of who I could get to come and do it at the time. So I may have paid over the odds, I don't know. But I've worked it out that it costs 10 pence per day. And so if I save 10 pence per day, that will give me the £140 that it cost me to get the boat safety certificate done. So once you've got your mooring, you've got your insurance, you've got your license, and you've sorted out the boat safety certificate, those are the things that you really do have to pay. For a boat my size, those were the costs involved, and they came to £3.90, which gives me 47 pence per day, which I put towards having the engine serviced, because that's what it just about cost me to have it done. It costs around about £170 or so to get the engine transported and serviced each year. Last year I paid more than that because it did have to have a new propeller on it. There are always extras on boats. They are a bit of a bottomless pit when it comes to money. So all in all, those are the costs that you need to spend. There are some other things that you can do. You can join the canal rescue service, which is called the River Canal Rescue, and they will come out to your boat when you get into difficulties, and the minimum membership, a bronze standard, works out at 17 pence per day. So when you add up all the things that you have to pay, plus a little bit of money for looking after the service of the engine, the service of the boat, that gives me my figure of £4.37 or $5.83, the equivalent of 7.2 cigarettes. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Please press the subscription button on the right hand side of the screen on your mobile phone or tablet, which is displayed throughout my videos, and please press the bell icon on the channel homepage and you will be notified by YouTube each time I release a new video. Please feel free to share any of my videos and give a thumbs up and make any comments below, as I do enjoy reading them and I will respond to each and every one of them. So thank you for watching and do take care.